This is Script Games, where I'll be talking about various games I have, starting with this one. Sonic Rivals is a PSP game released near the end of 2006, and on PlayStation Vita by digital download. It has a multiplayer option, but I have no one to play with because it's 2025. Sonic Rivals is a racing game that has the character you choose and one other character race through a series of tracks trying to reach the finish line first. Being in the Sonic world, the tracks are set in stages, starting with 2 acts, which are races designed in the same way a Sonic level is, with springs, dash pads and loops, and Eggman's various Badnik robots throughout the stages, with new features like objects you can vault over and other obstacles unique to their respective stages. The game also has ways of keeping the competition between both characters active. The most standard way is something in racing games called rubber banding, where the character behind will gain a speed boost allowing them to slowly catch up to the one in the lead, making it tense when they're behind you because it's only a matter of time before they catch up, but this also works for you if you're behind them. The more active ways are just to attack your opponent when you're behind them, by either home jumping onto them, letting you bounce over them to get some distance before they catch up to you again, or by attacking them from behind, known as jousting, essentially pushing past your opponent. Throughout the act, there are also various power-ups that do different things depending on whether you're in the lead or following, which can hinder your opponent for a few seconds. Like in the main series games, each level has rings throughout the track which you can collect. When you are attacked or get hurt, you lose 10 rings, and when you get hurt with no rings, you die and get sent back to the last invisible checkpoint you reached before dying. As is tradition for Sonic games, the third act of each stage is a boss fight, except for one stage without a boss for plot reasons. To fit with the rival theme, each boss fight is a competition to defeat the boss first, which requires you to hit the boss 6 times during the few times it's vulnerable before the other character does. There are 4 characters you can choose from in this game. Sonic the Hedgehog, the main character of the franchise known for running really fast, Knuckles the Echidna, the ill-tempered guardian of the Master Emerald, Shadow the Hedgehog, a living science experiment made to be the perfect life form, and he acts like it, and Silver the Hedgehog, the time traveler from the future with telekinesis. Each character has a different storyline, but the general premise for each is that each character has some reason to chase after Eggman. Sonic is looking for Amy and Tails, Knuckles is looking for the Master Emerald, Shadow got a distress call from Eggman to come find him, and Silver is only looking for him as a lead to find someone else, with the main conflict being that the other characters keep getting in each other's way, when they could just work together to hunt Eggman down, but if they did that we wouldn't have a game, would we? What I like about this game's story is that each character's story adds context to the events happening. Sonic's is just the standard Sonic game story of Eggman being bad and needing to be stopped, Knuckles' story explains the lands you're traveling through, Shadow shows you the real villain of the game, and by the end you play as Silver who knows almost everything from the start. What does that mean? What do you mean by that? When you complete each character's campaign, you'll get a new coloured skin for your menu screen based off the character, and once you've completed every character's story, it unlocks the ability to play as Metal Sonic. The main content of this game after the stories are the challenges. In the Challenges tab in the menu, each act and boss has a series of goals to check off, such as winning within a certain amount of time, winning with a certain amount of rings, and hitting your rival enough times, stuff like that. You don't need to achieve them all in one run, and the game doesn't expect you to. You can play it as many times as you need to get them all, but once you achieve one you still have to win the race itself or the game won't count it. Each stage has an easy, medium, and hard mode which you have to finish individually. You can't just complete hard mode and have the game count it for the easier modes as some other games might. Personally, I start with hard mode first anyway, so by the time I finish them, the medium and easy modes are simple. Honestly, it's a lot of busy work just doing the same thing over and over again, but they're needed for the rest of the game content. When you do achieve a goal, the game will award you a card, the collectible of the game. The card you get is slightly random, but each act seems to have a pool of cards that can select your reward from, meaning you're going to get repeats. There are 150 different cards in total, and in the viewing menu you'll see that they're put into sets of 3. When you get a full set, it will award you a cosmetic item, either a suit, gloves, or shoes, that one of the characters will be able to wear while racing, with each item being part of a themed set, such as flames, black tie, or circuits. When you tick off each box on every goal for every difficulty of every act for a stage, you get a card of one of the Chaos Emeralds, and it unlocks a cup circuit. Cup circuits are basically marathons of multiple acts from different stages. The first one, the Rival Cup, is free, but every other one is unlocked after you gain a Chaos Emerald card, with a cup being named after the corresponding color. Now, what happens if you beat every cup circuit? Nothing. You get nothing. Which is disappointing, since the cup circuits are based off the Chaos Emeralds, so I was hoping that completing them all would get you Supersonic or something, but no. Nothing happens. I guess these are for racing other people in multiplayer, but having the last stage of completion in the game leading to nothing, especially since unlocking the cup circuits is what the challenge mode is leading up to, feels like a wasted opportunity. And now a few notes about the game before we end, along with some B-roll from the last round I had before finally getting the last card in the game. Once you get 6 copies of a card, the game will stop giving you that card, and if you max out enough cards, you'll stop getting notified when you achieve one of the goals in the challenges, because the goal screen is connected to getting a card rather than achieving the goal itself, which is weird, but the game does still keep track of the goals even though it doesn't tell you anymore, so you don't need to worry about soft-locking yourself if you've been grinding the cards before unlocking the cup circuits. Speaking of grinding, by the time I had completed my playthrough for the cup circuits, I only had 1 card left to find. I tried every level multiple times on easy and occasionally on hard mode until I just wasn't getting any cards at all anymore. Until I played on medium. Turns out, cards aren't just connected to the levels, but the difficulty as well. In fact, I now think that the difficulty is more important than the level itself, so keep that in mind if you're collecting every outfit in the game. This game is also a little buggy, with these glitches usually happening when 2 things are happening to a character at once. For example, earlier in this video you saw Shadow get stuck in an ice cube and then slide all over the place. That's not supposed to happen. Ice cubes are meant to freeze you in place, but didn't because he got hit while sliding on a ramp. These glitches don't mess up anything important though. To conclude, while I don't generally care for racing games, Sonic Rivals is an alright time. I think it has a good enough story, the requirements for completion aren't too bad, and the gameplay is decent aside from occasional glitches here and there, but nothing that really ruins the experience. It's a PSP game after all, so I don't expect a masterpiece by any means. Thank you for watching. My procrastination means it took me 5 months to finish this video. Thank you, goodbye.